Good morning, all of you. So in today's class, we'll discuss about the numericals on YDAC and other applications related to this YDAC phenomena. That one. So if you look at in the previous class, we had the good discussion about the first we started with Huygens principle. Then we came to the basic the numericals on the basic YDAC setup. Then previous class we had an optical instrument like this one, optical path length. Then when slab is introduced, when the medium is introduced between the slit and screen, what conditions are come. Now with the same thing, we are going to enter few more some numericals we'll explore on the YDAC. Then we'll go for the other applications based on the interference one. Okay, almost I think some 10 days gap has come. I'll try to write neatly on the tab, writing tab. No, almost I think 2 weeks it happened like. So again, I may had to struggle a little bit as usual. Huh? So the what I used to teach on the board, no, now writing on this pad, no, little bit difficult. Okay, let me try, huh? As usual. Huh? Okay, now we'll begin with this. So yesterday's So if you look at the YDAC experimental setup, this is the, we'll take the screen, this is our screen. Now if a ray of light, if they are incident at an angle, I'll start with this. Now instead of illuminating slit normally, if they're incident at an angle, then what conditions are to be put this one. Okay, fine. So this is the, let me call this is alpha. So this is the slit, upper slit. There's a source, there's a monochromatic ray of light. Instead of illuminating the slit normally, the ray of light is incident at an angle alpha with respect to the axis, and the distance between the screen and the slit, let it be capital D. So this is our screen. Okay, we want expression for the nth order of maxima that is formed on the screen. There's a monochromatic light. Okay, no. So what method has to be done? Now, as usual, we'll take the two set of rays. Pin settings, let me adjust all. Yeah. Okay, this one. So this ray will meet here. This ray will meet here. So then which ray will cover more path before slits? I think the ray passing through the slit S1, this will cover more path before slits, and the ray passing through slit S2 will cover less path. After slits, who will cover more path? The ray 2 will cover more path than the ray 1. Able to analyze here. So from that again, so we can go for the same mathematics like, so this is the, intentionally I'm not showing parallel. Some of you are showing that to be parallel. Huh? So these two lines like a S1 I think these are some symbols what we used. S1m and S2n should not be parallel. There's alpha, alpha. Shall I show it here? It'll be much easier. Okay, we'll keep it now. Okay, no. What is the path difference? How to calculate this particular thing? Now this is making an alpha. What is the mathematics we can bring it here? No. So if you want, you can draw one separate diagram and analyze. So this should be the alpha, no? If this is alpha, then how much this should be? This angle. This should be the 90 minus alpha. Then what is this angle? This should be alpha. What about the angle which is there inside? Yeah, let me take some theta. As usual, we'll take this one. I think there's no problem, everyone. So there's no problem with this angle S1M, S2. This triangle. This already we have discussed so many problems. This is a new thing is what you are finding out. So this much of additional path the ray 1 will cover, or the ray passing through the slit S1 before slit. This additional part the ray passing through the slit S2 will cover after the slits. Okay, got this. So can we denote anything this SN1, S1N? So let me write that as select a delta x2 or delta x1, and the path difference after slits S2M, let it be delta x2. I think I'll try to indicate here. This is delta x2. This delta x1. What shall we take this one? So net path difference. So if you can remember, before that, what is delta x1? I think from the triangle S2 and S1 from the triangle. So sine alpha, So this should be equal to, let me, sine alpha. Sine alpha should be equal to delta x1 by d. So what is delta x1? Delta x1 equal to d sine alpha. Okay, after this. Delta x2 as usual we know d sine theta 2. Okay, I'll write that also. Triangle S1M S2. Sine theta equal to delta x2 by d, where delta x2 is equal to d sine theta. Okay, let's get into, so the net path difference, this should be equal to delta x2 minus delta x1. Why this negative sign? why we have to subtract? Why not we had? Because the ray 1, I'll call this as ray 1. The ray 1 will cover, will traverse more path than the ray 2 before slit. The ray 2 will traverse more path, or will cover more distance or path, anything, which one you feel convenient. The ray 2 will cover more path than ray 1 after the slits. That's why I have to take the difference here. So this should be equal to, so what is value of delta x2 d sine theta is equal to d sine alpha. As d very much greater than the condition, will put it lambda. So therefore this d sine theta will become d tan theta. So this, we are searching for the portion of n lambda. So dy max by capital D minus d sine alpha. So y max equal to n lambda capital D by d plus d sine alpha. Look at once this equation. So this is the expression for the nth order maxima on the screen. Position of nth order maxima on screen. Okay, got it. So now shall we go for the really the pattern where they will be, where the central maxima will be. Put n equal to 0. Here you start from. Put n equal to 0. Y max equal to d sine alpha. So definitely the central maxima should lie above. So the central maxima.
Sir? Sir, d will be very much greater than small d, sir, or we are taking lambdas?
Oh, this symbol. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for correction. It should
Yes,
be small d. It should be.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Just do notice that one. It should be small d. Instead of that, I wrote lambda. All of you, look at here, that one. So capital D will be very much greater than small d. Because of that, the sine theta, we are making it as tan theta. Theta very small will become tan theta. Tan theta further, I'm writing that as y max here. In this corner. So y max by capital D. So where is that theta, sir? From where you're bringing that? So if you want to go for some, okay, this is what that theta. Okay, nice. Everything is visible clearly as usual. Now, where the central maxima? Definitely I can say the central maxima. I think we took some red color is what to differentiate between the central maxima and other maximas. There's a position of central maxima. What about the other maximas? The other maxima, first it will start here. There's a wrong convention. We are not supposed to show central maxima like red color, because usually it will be like a, what is the color of all the maximas? That should be the, okay, this will be the pattern on the screen. So YCM is this, but this quantity, what happened, we'll call YCM. So how to get YCM? Put n equal to 0. So for n equal to 0, YCM equal to d sine alpha. Similarly, I want order of interference at the axis. Order of interference at the axis. 0 is equal to n axis capital lambda by small d plus d sine alpha. Oh, my fingers are paining. Again,
Sir?
Sir,
we wrote delta excellent as d tan theta minus d sine alpha, na, sir. Why aren't we writing sine alpha as tan alpha, sir?
Hey, alpha is not small. Alpha is 30-40 degrees.
Yes.
How why alpha will become tan alpha?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Alpha will not become tan alpha. Alpha will remain alpha only, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. Huh? I think please all of you notice that these are some, I think, very important things. Look at this alpha. Alpha is not very small. Alpha will be of order 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees, anything. Any angle between 0 and 90. But not very small, like, okay, what is the order of interference of the axis? So definitely what it shows negative sign. So what that negative sign it shows is like the central maxima will lie above the axis. This is the axis. Okay, just have a glance of the total content. I'll scroll down further. Alpha greater than 90 not possible. Huh? Don't think that. I think minimum common sense, if alpha greater than 90, how it is? Alpha greater than 90. Okay, it will come from this side. Next problem will go for it. I thought, okay, you mean to say light coming from here? No, if the light comes here, okay, we can manage. The next part of question, I'll take that one. Okay, now I want central maxima to come onto the axis. What shall I do? Central maxima should be there at the axis. What shall I do? Where shall I bring the slab, at upper or lower slit? Definitely I'll place the slab at lower slit, so it will pull the pattern down. Okay, now we'll take the same setup, experimental setup. Now what is our condition? So we want central maxima to be here. So where I should place a slab? Yes, definitely the slab I have to place at a lower slit. Let me adjust some. This is mu, thickness T. This is the slit S2. This is as usual delta X2. Okay, how you write equation? So definitely the central maxima is here. Look at this one. Able to notice this? Why I should bring the slab at a lower slit only? Why not at any other point? No, the condition here is like the pattern, the central maxima, the pattern has to be shifted down. So for that purpose, the central maxima to be brought onto the axis, the slab should be introduced at the lower slit. I think this in the previous classes, we had a very good discussion, if you can remember. Okay, let's get on. Let's try to write the equation now. So what is the condition of central maxima? Must be here. What should be the thickness of slab? There's the one basic condition is what I'm asking. What should be the thickness of slab? Now, this diagram, if you find little bit difficult, if you find difficult, no. So what you can do is like, you are unable to analyze. So if you want, you can write equation or else I'll show you another. So instead of so much of mass, no, you can directly. So what is the requirement? The central maxima should be there at the axis. So the curve. No, we have everything in front of you. Who will cover more path before slits? The ray 1. Who will cover more path after slits? The ray 2. Means if you bring a slab in the direction of path of ray, then the path length of that ray will increase. I think this is the very important the condition. So now who has covered more path before slits? The ray 1. Who will like a, so therefore the ray 1. So this some additional path is there. So if the ray 2 covers that much of additional path after slits, then definitely when they come here, the phase angle will be 0. So what is the path difference of the rays arriving here will be 0. So then this will be the central maximum. Able to understand, actually, I think we had in previous class, we had a discussion of this kind. Once again, I'm putting that one. So what is the basic necessity condition like? By introducing the slab in the direction of path of ray, the path length of the ray increases. If it's simplest thing, if a slab is introduced in the direction of path of the ray, the path length of the ray will increase. So now whose path length I should increase? Of that of ray 2. Therefore, the slab I'm bringing here. I think we should now more focus on the technical thinking, that one, rather than some to bring the slab to push the pattern down. I should put the slab at lower slit. To push the pattern up, I should put the slab at upper slit. No, better think analyze here. So the path length of the ray 2 after slit is what I should increase. So therefore, I'll put a slab here. And then what is the equation shall we write? The path difference delta x1 should be equal to path difference offered by the slab. The net path difference should be 0. So therefore, I'll equate this one. So we know this is how much it is, d sine alpha. What is path difference due to slab? So what is it? This one, there's a minimum thickness. Got the idea? This one. So these are some ways of analyzing a problem. And now, shall we go for another conditions here? So if the ray incident in another direction, okay, let me take the next condition. Yeah, we have diagram. row reverse. Okay, now there's a parallel beam of light. This axis. We don't know where central maxima will be. Let me take it out, this one. And this slab also will not be there in the picture. Oh, so many things I have to change. Okay, get into this one. So some description is what I made. Okay, this is the condition S1 and S2. These are this. Let some rough diagram is what I have put. So let this be monochromatic ray of light. So let it make an angle alpha. So the particular beam of light is not illuminating it normally. This ray, let it be there. So now again, you look at this triangle. O will cover more path, so this will be delta x2. Try to make observation. I'm putting some information here. This is thing. Okay, this is theta. We'll carry on this one. What to do? We have here alpha. I should search for that conditions here. So this should be the alpha, because here this alpha 90 minus alpha. Then this should be the alpha. See, like instead of this, if he has given an angle made by the incident beam with the plane of the slit, so then it would have been, the alpha would have been here. So try to notice that one. It's not that don't memorize formula now. No, you should focus on the what is alpha. Alpha is the angle made by the incident beam of light with horizontal. Instead of this, you may say like that the beam is incident at an angle alpha with respect to plane, with respect to vertical plane in which slits are present. Means is asking, it's referring with respect to this. So you will not give diagram, you will explain the condition. So you must able to imagine things here. Now the net path difference. So O will cover more path before slits, the ray passing through the slit S2. O will cover more path after slits, again the ray 2. So therefore the resultant path difference should be equal to, I'll add up. Earlier we took the difference. So now what happened? We are going to add up. So delta x2 should be equal to d sine theta. Delta x1 should be equal to small d sine alpha. From the previous problem, so I'm writing the content directly. So this will be net path difference. So n lambda d tan theta d sine alpha. What is tan theta? Y max by d. Okay, so this is the expression for the nth order maxima on the screen. Where the central maxima will lie below or above the axis. So should lie below the axis, the central maxima. Put n equals 0, y max equal minus d sine alpha. So from the data, so somewhere here, central maxima, I'm placing it. So position of central maxima should be equal to minus d sine alpha. Now, any other thing? What is the order of interference opposite to slit S1. So we'll calculate that one. Y S1, I'll write it. This should be equal to, what shall I do? where I should, order of interference I want. Order of, let me put that one, order of interference opposite to slit S1. Let me write for both. Yeah. How to do this? What is the value of Y for exactly opposite to slit on the screen? What is the order? So what shall I do for this? So what is this distance will be? This should be equal to D nu, small d, S1, S2. I'm unable to indicate in the diagram. It'll be, oh. I'll get you the screen. I'll get you the screen. I pressed the wrong one. Are you able to view the screen?
Yes, sir.
We'll continue. Lot of problem. Some gap came, no, the buttons. Okay, no. I'll see this. Order of interference opposite to the slit S1. So exactly opposite to slit, what is the distance? This should be equal to D by 2. So this order has to be determined. Now we'll take the, no, so this should be, what shall I write in place of Y max? So plus D by 2 is equal to NS1, I'll write it. In any symbols you can give. So D minus D sine alpha. So this should be equal to, so therefore NS1 should be equal to D square by 2 lambda D. Check it, final equation, is it correct? NS1 should be equal to D square by 2 lambda capital D plus D sine alpha by lambda. Capital D gets eliminated. Okay, this should be the order of interference. Substitute all these values, you'll get the order of interference. Similarly, I want order of interference exactly opposite to slit S2. So what has to be done? Put minus D by 2. Then you'll get NS2, means order of interference exactly opposite to slit S2. Able to make it to the condition. So I can ask you anything here. So you should be in a position to find out order of interference at any position. Okay, so now what has to be done to bring the central maxima at the axis? Back to the axis. It should be there at the axis. So the beam of light is incident at an angle alpha with the axis. Monochromatic beam of light is incident at an angle alpha with the axis. And the central maxima must be here. So where the slab should be introduced. So I think better we'll think technically like this rather than. So let me give the fresh diagram. So this is the I totally forgot all the shortcuts. Huh? Oh. No, this is the beam of light. No. So for finally, what should happen? So the ray, both the rays, they should form and the central maxima must be somewhere here. So this was the alpha S1, S2. Which ray will cover more path before slits? The ray 2. And now if I increase the path length of the ray 1 such that how much of additional path the ray 2 covered before slits, that much of additional path the ray 1 covers after slit. Definitely the path difference of the rays arriving here will be 0. Then there will be central maxima. So what is a central maxima? So where the central maxima will located, where the path difference of the rays coming from the slits, if it is equal to 0, there the central maxima will be located. Able to understand this? This is something very important. What do you mean by central maxima? So where the path difference of the rays emitted by the slit, if it is equal to 0, then that is the location of central maximum. So I should increase the path length of this. So I should bring now the slab here. So what is the additional path? So delta x1 should be equal to mu minus 1 into t. So this should be equal to this should be the thickness of the slab. Okay, I think hope everyone is able to manage things very comfortably. Now the slab is there. Yes, sir, I'll manage. Okay, now what happens if student accidentally, if he, instead of placing slab here, if he places here? Can happen, no? In lab, but maybe well, students, what happen? He may do like this. Okay, let's see what will get it. No, by chance, if he places slab here, any changes will come, or okay, sir, no, nothing as usual. Central maxima will be there at the axis. I want answer from any one of you. Anybody interested, you can easily reply back to me. That chart, I think I don't know. Okay, chat, I'll check it. Yeah, it's there. No change. Okay, Sai Surya, no change. Anybody? Gunetra, no change. Anybody still? I can read chat. You need not to interested. Okay, you can reply. You can explain, or you can put in chat. Sushant Reddy, no change. Sriman, no change. Others present or only just switched on mobile? You can reply, think on it. No, sir, delta X will change, so it should change. What Gunetra? So why two replies? No change. Again, you're telling will change. Shift down, no change. So I want you to think of, because this is very important. If I don't permit, if I just go, if I wind up and go no, so definitely in exams, I may ask this such things. It will change. Neha, no change. Charvi Palam, shift down. Ansika Reddy will change. Sri Sheshta, this will shift. Gayatri Devi, it will change. Okay, fine. So you are expressing your views. Shiva Prabhat, it will change. Oh, okay. Shiva Prabhat, why it will change? Please explain. Shiva Prabhat, unmute and tell me why it will change.
Sir, the first path ray will change. Of first source, the where the light is entering, that they you can put the slab.
No, how much of additional path the ray 2 covering, that much of additional path length is offered by the slab. Then
So, but there will be a change in path length.
nothing. So it is assumed that it will be incident normally on the slab. And the position of slab will be like this. It has become a practice of showing slab like this. The slab will be oriented in this way. It has become a practice of just putting rectangular slab vertically. Okay, got this one. So thickness is very small, no? So though it is incident at angle, just we can neglect that orientation. So if I put a condition, I'll put a condition clearly. How much of path length the ray 2 is having additional path length, that much of additional path length is provided by the slab before slits. Then before slits only, the path difference between the rays is 0. Anyway, after slits, the path difference is 0. So center of mass will be there at axis. Is it possibility? It will remain same now. Okay. So if I put a slab, center of mass may shift up, may shift down, may not shift. The reason for that, it all depends upon thickness of slab. If the path length, if the additional path length of the ray 2, if it is equal to the path length offered by the slab to the ray 1, then center of mass will not shift. Okay, got this. So since I put center of mass at the axis, so therefore, what is the conclusion I should make it? The delta x1 again should be equal to mu1t. Okay, this will be mu1t. What is delta x1? This is equal to d sine alpha. Usually it's a practice of pasting the slab, the thickness of slab. Anybody, can you make a guess of thickness of slab? Micrometer. So what I do, I just like a thin sheet of like a paper, it will be there, no? That the glass sheet, I'll just paste it here. So you can paste it, but usually practice of pasting it here only. I'll not, if I put slab here, again, I have to bring a stand to hold it, the pattern will not come. So what we do, just I'll take a glass sheet of order micrometer. I think it will be very thin, no? Glass sheet, this one. Or even it can be made up of plastic where I can adjust the value of mu to certain value. So that plastic sheet, I'll stick onto it here. That is enough. So that's what happens. So it's like in books, what happen, we are just showing slab here or here, not in a lab. What happen, I'll take the sheet, I'll going to paste it here, where all I want. I can paste it here also, but usually the practice of pasting it here only. So even if its slab comes here, doesn't matter. Now if the slab absorbs some light, okay, it makes some difference. The dark region will not be completely dark. They'll be very difficult to notice the dark bands. The pattern will not be distinct. This is what happens here. So we are assuming that the slab will not absorb any energy. Okay, this is okay. Let's bring other conditions. Why it is so big? Okay, I'll start the, let me, in the same situation, let me introduce the liquid also. This diagram we can have. There's everything. Let me fill up a liquid. Before that, now the space between the slits and the screen, I'll fill up with a liquid of refractive index, mu L or mu naught. I think we used earlier symbol. So let me write mu L. Any changes? Let lambda be the wavelength of light in air. It is. What is strict condition? Lambda is the wavelength of light in air. No. I want the position of central maxima. Or let me put one slab here. Straight away, let me ask that conditional question. Okay, this is the slab that is brought, and I want central maxima at the axis. And there's a liquid filled up. Please do think on this one. Let mu be the refractive index of slab. Mu L is the liquid. So here, let me write the condition. Where I want central maxima? If you want, I'll change it. Let it be at exactly opposite to slit S1. Shall I make some change? Or if you want next problem, I'll write it. No. We will cover more path before slits, the ray 2, then the path, and the ray 1 should cover more path after slit, but we do have something liquid. How to write this equation? I'll go back to basic rather than with the manipulation. So path difference delta x net, this should be equal to. So first path difference after slit. So how do we write S2P? Because the ray is covering S2P distance where in liquid. So optical path length, how much it will be like a mu L S2P. Then mu L S1P. S1P minus PP. I think I'm able to show it. Yeah. I'll write it here. S1P minus T is what the path covered in liquid. Optical path length, mu L S1P, that one. So this everything bracket. Yeah. Please do notice that this is very important. Huh? Then remaining path where it will cover, it will cover in slab, no? So what we should write? How much of length it will cover in the slab? T. Then what is optical path length? Mu T. So shall I write plus or minus mu T? Plus mu T. Or mu L T. This is very important. Rest all mathematics. I'm telling this one. This is the concept. I'll put once again. I'll put once again. I had to come after slits also. There's a before slit. First after slit. S2P. The ray will cover a path length of S2P in liquid. Optical path length mu L S2P minus. The ray will cover a path in liquid. How much? S1P minus T. In liquid, optical path length mu L S1P plus the ray will cover a distance T in slab. Optical path length mu T. This is what after slits. Before slits, minus of. Before slits, the minus of. The brackets plays very important role. What we have the brackets here. Okay, this will be the. Now what shall I write? This shall we write only equal to D sine alpha? I think we have discussed enough problems, no, earlier. I'll write one step so that it will be. Next one, mu L S1P plus mu And check once the equations, and delta x2, what you can write it as d sine alpha. Check once the mathematics here. Mu L S2P minus mu L S1P. Mu L we took common. Then minus of mu plus mu L. So mu minus mu L T, that is. So this is this. So now we'll, what is S2P minus S1P? Should be 0, no? Because we know that from the geometry you check it. What is S2P and S1P? S2P is in fact equal to S1P. So therefore this should be equal to delta x net. Path difference should be 0. There's one more condition because the rays will undergo superposition at center of mass where the path difference should be 0. This should be equal to mu L 0 T minus d sine alpha. So this will become T is equal to d sine alpha mu minus mu L. Check once all the conditions. Okay, fine. So these are some ways of writing the equations, like the beam of light will illuminate the slit at an angle alpha with axis. Then I'll fill up some liquid between the slit and screen. Then what should be the thickness of slab and where I should place, so the central maxima must be here. Now let me ask question. I want order of interference opposite to slit S1 here in this problem. Or I want central maxima exactly opposite to slit S1. Central maxima, I want it to be here. Capital D it is. Huh? Oh, sorry. This is one. Huh? Yeah, I'll make changes, ma. Okay, S1, S2, I'll write it here. Yeah, it should be small d. Capital D, and this one is the small d. I made some changes. Please do notice, all of you. Okay, why only central maximum? So shall we bring some situation where the central maximum must be here? Exactly at slit S1, the central maximum must be here. For that, what conditions you are going to put? So the same thing, the ray of light will illuminate the slit at an angle. The same diagram. Let me take the next condition. Somebody mute it. No, what is the condition I'm putting is like, I don't know where to, so how to bring exactly central maxima exactly opposite to slit S1. It can be like this. There can be a situation of like this also. Please, all of you mute it. No, a lot of disturbance will come. Okay, immediately what happened? What will be the conditions? Please try to mute it. Huh? Okay, no, directly, I think first you go to the pen, paper, and why the red color? Where the central maxima exactly opposite to okay, I think before this, a student must have a background. What is that? If the ray comes illuminated in this way, where we are here, where the central maxima is, will be below axis, no? If the ray is incident at an angle alpha, where it will make an angle alpha with the axis in this direction. Now, where the central maxima will not be above the axis, will be below axis. Now, what we should do? The central maxima should be shifted up. It should be brought exactly opposite to slit S1. Getting the idea? I think there's a background we needed. So what I should do, I should shift the pattern up, no? So to shift the pattern up, what shall I do now? Where I should put a slab? Shall I put slab here or shall I put slab here? Anybody, please reply. There's a very nice conditions is what I'm bringing for students to really analyze here. Huh? Hey, test one. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, Sai Surya, good. I'm going to put slab here to shift. And moreover, there's the liquid is there. So what is the condition? The whole pattern has to be shifted up such that the central maxima should lie here. This was the idea. Okay, got this. I think make observation. The same question is just being asked here. So now what is the strict condition? The pattern. Okay, I think we are here. The pattern must be here. So definitely the slab has to be brought it here. Okay, right equation. This will be T. This will be mu. This is S1, S2. So we'll do one thing. We'll write the set of equations. then what happened? We'll come to this one. Let's not bother about the getting answer now. We'll write as usual our equation. Net path difference equal to path difference of the rays after slits, then path difference of the rays before slits. So that should be equal to n lambda. There what happened? YCM center of it should be there. So what should be the thickness of slab? So that the path difference. What happened? This is. Yeah. I'll set right things. Just give some time. I think okay, fine. Huh? There's a liquid. We'll bring the slab here. Carry on the. I forgot all the shortcuts. So there's a major problem. Write some equation. I want you to write. Huh? I'll come into picture. Let me have water. Meanwhile, you try it. Huh? Let me proceed with the mathematics. The path difference delta x net should be equal to mu L S2P then mu L S1P minus T plus mu T. So there's a thing, and before slits it is the same equation. So they should be before slits it should be like a plus delta x2 or minus delta x2. I think the ray 2 will cover more path before slits and the ray 2 will cover more path after slits also. We are assuming it to be here. So this will be the equation. So now this should be equal to, further one more step, mu L S2P minus S1P minus of mu L T plus small d sine alpha. I think I'm right, small d sine alpha. This S2P minus S1P will become sine theta. This theta, let me indicate here. Okay, some of you are asking, sir, what is theta? Let me show that this is theta. And this is what our alpha, no? So mu L d sine theta no delta x net. So I'm interested in the position of maxima. So n lambda equal to mu L. Next step, I'll write it. Tan theta mu minus mu L T plus d sine alpha. Mu L tan theta will be small d dy by capital D. This should be good. So, sir, from tan theta y by d, how you wrote? This is what that y. And you make it one more. See, we have to be very alert. That's all. So, looking at this triangle, what is tan theta? Y by capital D. I think by this time, you know, sir, y sin theta has become tan theta because of condition d very much greater than small t. Theta very small, sin theta will become tan theta, and tan theta will be y by capital D. Just stick on to the basics. Almost the same thing is getting repeated. So now we have everything. So what is lambda? Lambda is the wavelength of light in here. So this should be equal to, so let's go for now expression for y. So y equal to n lambda capital D by mu L small d plus mu minus mu L by mu L capital D by small d minus d sine alpha. T is not there. Huh? Okay, here T is not there. Okay, I have brought, so we are searching for position of maximas. Let it be y max. Okay, no. I want central maxima. Where the central maxima should be exactly at the center of opposite to slit S1. So what shall I write y? Y should be equal to small d by 2 and n should be 0. And the n what pen n should be made 0. This should be small d by 2. Then we'll solve for it. We'll get the thickness of lab. What should be the thickness of lab? They may ask you questions of these kind also. You have to be ready. You check the advanced paper, questions of these kind are also available. So what should be the thickness of slab? Now we'll generalize it. Find thickness of slab so that central maxima will be exactly opposite to slit S1 on screen. What shall we do? So this y max should be equal to d by 2 and n should be 0. That we have to substitute in above equation. So substituting that, d by 2, 0, mu by mu L minus 1 t capital D by small d minus d sine alpha. Then this will become solving for t will get the required answer. Let me put it here. So this t will be d square two d check it once. I think the final equation check once. D square by 2d mu minus L d sine alpha. Okay, I think this will be our final answer. Okay, like this should be the thickness of slab. They asked questions of these kind also. Just be alert. That's why I just brought this condition. Okay, what is the best thing a student has to focus? So let me show the complete picture of the, have a glance of the total numerical. See once here. This is the something I feel a student has to put effort here. Here is what the thing. Once you know this, okay, fine, everything you can manage. Or the next step. Let's see, anybody, any? Why n equal to 0? Because central maxima, order of interference of central maxima should be n equal to 0, no? Because what is the path difference of the rays arriving at central maxima? Should be 0. Delta x should be 0. Okay, therefore n I should write. Where central maxima will lie on the screen, where the path difference of the rays emerging from emitted by slit S1, S2, if it is equal to 0 on arrival at that particular point will be central maxima. So therefore, to locate central maxima, n must be substituted 0. I think that this is a very primary question. May look simple, but I think a lot of concept is involved. So which point on a screen will be central maxima, where the path difference, net path difference of the rays arriving there is 0. That point will be central maxima. This is okay. Tell this 1000 times, that is enough. Oh, I don't. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so connectivity was problem. Somebody was asking. Yeah.
In Weimar's equation, it is d sine alpha by mu L, sir.
Let me check more. So, okay, this mu L should also go for this one, no? Simplification.
Yes, sir.
One mu L will come here. I think I missed it. Small d, capital D. Oh, one mu L will be here. Yeah, okay. So here also one mu L will be there. Okay, I'll make changes, ma. Okay, I'll make it changes. So here also one mu L will be there. One mu L. Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. This one. Okay, this mu L is what I missed it. Check once the calculation part. Here mu L, here one mu L. Okay, mu L. Okay, this mu L, here mu L. Mu L will be there. And finally, yeah. Or mu minus mu L we could have written. Okay, let it be, yeah. This one. Okay, this one will be the, yeah. I'll scroll down. If you have anything, you can ask it here. Let me take the next condition. Let me go for the other application part. I'll come back to again the numericals. So let this be a screen. This already we have come across in waves and so on. Let me put once again here. So there are the 2-point coherent sources, S1 and S2. Separated by distance d, small d. There's a screen where I'll put a condition, capital D will be very much less than small d. Now I want expression for order of interference on the screen. So they are point coherent sources. What are S1, S2? S1, S2 are coherent point sources. What is the methodology what we should work out here now? Try to think in terms of mathematics. They are like a not slit point source. Now you can ask questions, sir, who will produce such a coherent sources? Is it possible? Okay, we'll go to the optics. Let me cover that ideas here only. So it'll be easy for us. The application problems, if they ask you related to ray optics. So there's a lens. No, there's a lens. Upper part of lens is having one mu. The lower part is made up of some other material. So this will become mu1. This is a mu2. Let me, because coherent sources of light has to be produced here. So how to bring that coherent sources of light? So let a parallel beam of light incident on this lens. So now we know better information. What do you expect? The rays which are incident on the lens above the axis will meet at one point. The rays below the axis will meet at one point. So from the so they'll meet at these points. So this will be the location of one focus. So I'll call this S1, S2. Now the primary question, are they coherent? What is the wavelength of light incident on the lens? Lambda. Then what is the wavelength of the light after refraction? Well, wavelength will change after refraction, no? Then, sir, maybe they have covered different path. Okay, let it be. But what is the coherent sources? Two sources of same frequency and the path difference and the phase difference between them remains constant. Yes, there'll be some phase, but that will remain constant with the time. So like this, what happened? I am able to produce now the coherent light sources with the help of the lens, where the above portion is made up of one material, below and the lower portion is made up of one material. We'll determine this distance d, this particular value. I think we know the formula 1 by f. So from where we'll bring it? 1 by f1. Let it be equiconvex length. So it's a equiconvex length. So the focal length will be r by 2 mu minus 1. This f1. What is f2? R by 2 mu 2 minus 1. So what are f1, f2? This is f1. So what is the distance d now? f2 minus f1. So this should become equal to r by 2. Got the idea? So they'll bring numericals of these kind of, you have to be careful. No. After this, okay, let's come back here. Now I want the, first of all, how the pattern will be. Means like, what about the pattern? Now let's come for this one. It all depends on d, no? If d equal to lambda, if small d is equal to lambda, then what is the path difference of the rays arriving here will be lambda. If its path difference is lambda, what is the phase difference? Will be 2 pi. If the phase difference is 2 pi, I think directly for constructive interference, what should be the path difference of the rays? Should be 0, lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, and 5 lambda. Like this, n lambda should be path difference. So therefore, if the distance between these 2 point sources, if it is equal to lambda, what do you expect here? Maxima or minima? Should be maxima. So who will determine it should be the lambda? Some adjustments here. I think it's not that easy, really. I'm teaching very happily. Within another 10 minutes, I'll wind up. You go to the lab, maybe you have to struggle for days to really get this point source. You should focus all these things. Got the idea, no? So can I adjust this? It's by varying this one. By material or by varying radius of curvature. So many things are there for us. Okay, I can adjust the distance between the sources by looking at this setup. There's a background, huh? Have these things in mind. Okay, now if this is lambda, then what do you expect here? The maxima. If this is a 2 lambda, then also maxima. If this is a lambda by 2, what do you expect here? Minima. Got this? Okay, now the rays, suppose the rays arriving here will have a path difference. Here I'll get maxima. So can I send a rays like this? Here the path difference is such that if it is equal to n lambda, then again we'll get one more maxima. So now, and it's mono screen. So go for a plane diagram. So how the pattern on the screen? The pattern on the screen will be alternate bright and dark bands will be there. This will be the pattern on the screen. So I want an expression for radius of nth order maxima on the screen. This is a now you have to ask primary question. Why the pattern will be circular like this? Why can't be rectangular fringes like what happened in YDSC? I think so. Just stick on to the basics here. Let me bring those two. Now look at this one. Now, if this point is maxima, then you are going to on the screen just go in a circular path of radius y. But I think I can't show more than this. So here in this particular, it's a screen. Screen means what? Will it be a line or will it be a plane, vertical plane? Screen will be a vertical plane. So on that vertical plane, go around in a circle of radius y. Then if this is maxima, then all the points on the circle should also be maxima. If this is minima, then all the points on that circular path should also be the minima. So therefore, how the pattern will be? The pattern will be alternate bright and dark rings. Alternate bright and dark rings. So I want expression for radius of the nth bright ring. And what is the order of interference? How that order will occur. So that has to be determined here. So that's what we are trying to do. I think you can go for analytical method, means like there's a ray 2, there's a ray 1. Who will cover more path? The ray 1 will, the ray, okay, this is the ray 2. The ray 2 will cover more path than ray 1. How much of more additional path? So there's the additional path covered by this. There's the additional path, what it will cover. Agree this? Now again, look at the conditions. What do you mean by this? Capital D very much small d. Capital D very much greater than small d. What is small d? The distance between the two coherent sources. And the distance of the coherent sources from the screen is capital D. Now, what is use of this? I think again you draw the diagram in such a way, like what is the angle subtended by these two rays emitted by the source that reaches at point P with horizontal. What is the angle subtended by that? Will be theta. So both will subtend the same angle, theta and theta. So therefore, what is cos theta? Delta x should be equal to S2P minus S1P. This should be equal to, I will take the, look at the triangle, cos theta should be equal to delta x by S1, S2. So this will be the 90 degrees. From where I'm writing? From triangle S2MN. From the triangle S2M S1. Okay, no, this is. So now let's get into the, so delta S2P minus S1P is what the delta x. So what shall we write here? No, the delta x should be equal to d cos theta. S1, S2 is what? Is equal to d. So this delta x should be equal to d cos theta. No, cos theta, theta very small. Or so I'll go for expansion of this. This will be cos theta expansion. Let me write that one. 1 minus theta square by 2. 3 factorial. Anybody expansion of cos theta? Anybody expansion of cos theta? Two factorial, 4 factorial, no?
Yes, sir.
It should be like this, cos. Binomial expansion, let me recollect. cos theta expansion. Cos theta, theta very small. Cos square theta, we can write it. Shall I proceed with this? One minus x square by 2 factorial plus like a 1 minus theta square by 2 theta 4 by factorial minus theta 6 by 6 factorial. I think yeah. No, theta very small. So higher order terms we can neglect. So this will be finally this thing. So let me write this delta x is equal to this will be much easier approach. What we have this one. So what is theta from okay, we'll go for small diagram. This is y, this is theta, this is capital D. The sources are in fact here. From the midpoint is what I'm going to indicate that theta. So theta very small, the theta will become tan theta. D1 minus 1 by 2 tan square theta. Tan theta, what we can write it as y by capital D. So the final equation, this will be D into 1 minus y square 2d square. So what we do will, what is y? Y is the radius of the nth bright ring. Delta x will interested in the getting the position of the nth radius of the nth bright ring. So the path difference delta x should be equal to n lambda 1 minus y max square by 2d square. So this further simplification of this n lambda capital D y max is equal to 1 minus n by lambda small d capital D. If you want, we can take it outside. Okay, this is what I should call this y max, radius of nth bright ring formed on screen. Okay, see once complete the description. So everything, the diagram, everything, who will produce, everything is available. Anybody having doubt to clarify? So now some very good questions are there if you check the objective, and very good troublesome also. Let me use word troublesome. So there's a theoretical part. Now there are so many conditions are there. So like what we do is like at y equal to 0. What is y equal to 0? This particular axis is y equal to 0. Call this very specifically axis here. At axis, what is order of interference? What shall I do for that? At axis, what is order of interference? I should write y equal to 0. Definitely, what is this axis correspond for y equal to 0? To check what is order of interference. Anybody? What can be order? Shall we put 0th order? like a central maxima, what we had in YDSC. And as I move, order of interference will increase. Please verify the equations you have. I want you to analyze here. Okay, there's a theoretically we derived equation. Now you have to analyze. Please do analyze the conditions. As y increases, order of interference will increase or decrease is what my primary question. You have to analyze this equation. We'll do one thing. Put y equal to 0. I'll get the order of interference d by lambda.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got this. So d by lambda. Now, as I move away, the order of interference will decrease, not increases. In YDSC, what happens? As you move away from axis, order of interference will increase. Central maxima used to be at axis here. So, sir, can you call this a central maxima? No, don't use word because we don't have fringes here. We have alternate, circular, alternate, bright and dark rings are formed. Don't say even bands also. Circular bands, I think we should not use. Alternate bright and dark rings. So can we find out the thickness of bright and dark ring? Thickness is put n equal to 1, n equal to like this for n and n plus 1. We can find out the width of that ring using this mathematics here. So now the order of interference in fact will decrease here. So what is the order of interference? That depends upon d by lambda. Suppose say d equal to say like a 10 millimeter and the lambda is equal to 1 millimeter. Then how much order of interference will become 10? Then next 9, 8, and where it will be 0 will be at infinity, no? Path difference between these two rays will be equal to 0 at infinity. So it will start from here, no? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, like the order of interference. So let's discuss slightly that particular formula, because the numericals are based on this end formula now. Nobody will ask you this derive, but the end formula, what the interpretation of that matters a lot. Now look at this. This, okay, the diagram. There's a D and their monochromatic source. There's a capital D. Now let me assume the values. D is equal to 10 millimeter for our convenient purpose. Or if you want to write 5. What is the order of interference that will start at axis now? I'll get here the 5. Next, what we get? 4, 3, 2, 1, and again 0. Where this distance will be 0, 0th one will be at infinity. So what is that infinite distance far away? So where the path difference of these two rays will be 0 at infinity only. Unless the order of interference will start like this. Don't write again 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a circular bands. Circular rings are formed now, so it's not practice of showing here also that one. Just show it here. So what is this? The 5th ring will be formed, a bright spot here. Then the dark ring. Then this what is Y4? Y4 is the radius of the 4th bright ring. We'll get the pattern of this one. So we'll determine. So what is the order of interference will decrease as you move away from axis. Got this one. So here if I write 5 lambda, tell me like a omni, like what would be the omni maximus you can notice. I should not say maxima, but okay, let me still ask like that. If I write 5, omni maximus you are going to notice. Means if you move in the vertical plane away from the axis like this, in this vertical plane away from the axis. So first what happened? Maxima, then maxima, then maxima, then maxima, then maxima, then maxima. So you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Below also same thing, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Then plus 5. So 11 maximas. if this distance equal to 5 lambda. If it is 3 lambda, instead of this d equal to 5 millimeter, let me write d equal to 5 lambda. So that will be more. Further, what will be that lambda value? How many maxima? So total how many maximas on the how many times you are going to see the maximas means here the axis maxima, then so altogether what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 11 thing. Sir, why you are making 5 lambda? Can you make it this like a 3.5 lambda? It can happen, no? We can. These are the things which are there in numericals. So you have to be very, very, very careful. The application part. Now a student, what happened? He will make 7 lambda by 2. So what is that one? So what do you expect here now? At the axis, what will be noticed? I want you to, all of you to think now. Here maxima or minima. I think maxima, I should, let me write it here. Maxima. Again, that numbers are okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are writing. I know minima or maxima. Anybody wants to answer? For destructive interference, what should be the path difference between the rays? 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. That 2n 1 minus lambda by 2, will it satisfy 7 lambda by 2? S. Lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2, 7 lambda by 2. No, for destructive interference, the path difference of the rays. So what is the path difference here? Here we'll get minima. So what do you get here now? Now, instead of the bright band, instead of bright spot, so how the pattern will start with what? Dark spot. First dark spot, then bright rings will, then bright, dark, alternate bright and dark rings will come. So I think definitely the pattern in both the cases, some difference will be there. Rings only will be formed. Let me paste that pattern. These are very important. A student has to analyze here. There's no other way. Now, what can be the pattern in this case? So at the center, dark spot is what will be noticed. So this chapter again, it's a unlimited. It will keep on stretch as we keep on introduce the conditions. Let me draw the pattern. Okay, this is the screen. On the screen, we'll have. So what is the path difference of the waves here? 7 lambda by 2. Next, after this, what will be the path difference? 3.5 lambda. Next, we'll get 3 lambda. Next, 5 lambda by 2. 2 lambda. 3 lambda by 2. Then lambda by 2, and the path difference between the rays arriving will be 0. Is it okay? Because far away, the path difference must be 0. Okay, now count it. So what are this? This is a maxima, this is a minima, maxima, minima, alternate. Here also the same thing. Minima, I didn't show it. So here you can put it like this. This is a minima. Dark band, minima means here dark band. So this is the minima. This is the maximum. What about how you count how many maximas? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many minimas? 1, 2, 3, 4. Below also that will be. So 7 minimas is what we are going to notice. But the pattern is something very important. I think when you get into problem, this has to be taken care of, the distance between the sources. Is it equal to n lambda or 2n minus 1 lambda? That will determine what should be the from where how it will start. But all the cases, the order of interference will decrease here. Here also you see that what is the order of interference is in fact decreasing. Any doubt you can clarify? I'll go for the next condition. You reach a 10th page. I'll post everything in Telegram channel because this recording now, like earlier link, not possible because I'm doing recording locally. In cloud, it's not possible. So in the Telegram channel, what happened? This particular video will be posted there. You can download also if you want. Okay, last one more. Till what time I can take class?
11 o'clock.
11, sir.
Anybody is having after 11 class?
Yes,
11 o'clock.
max.
7 we have maths, sir.
11 maths. Oh, started so early. Okay, now we'll take one more. I think this I discussed in the waves and sound chapter. So for point sources of light also, we'll study this. So let me take 2 point sources of light, S1 and S2, separated by a distance d. So I'm going to and let R be the radius of this, and where R very much greater than lambda and very much greater than d, let R be the radius, which is very much greater than d. How many maximas, minimas? What are the conditions to notice that maximas and minimas? Hope if you can recollect. I think I'll make some correction. So this will be the source S1, S2. Now the distance between the source, let it be small d. How many, what are the positions at which I can measure the maximas here? So no, again, R very much greater than small d. What is R? R is the radius. Radius of the path. 2 coherent sources are kept. They'll emit light of wavelength, lambda, that one. Who will produce such coherent sources? Again, the lens only. We'll take help of lens only. So let this point be M. So they will subtend an angle theta. This will be tan theta. Let this be Y. So this distance definitely will be R. Let's get into the, so compared to the ray 2, the ray 1 will cover this much of additional path. So again, our mathematics cos delta x equal to delta x by d. So which triangle? S1, S2, M. Look at this triangle, S1, S2, M. Looking at this triangle, S1, S2, M, cos theta equal to delta x by d, that one. Directly I'm writing it, delta x by d, or S1M by S1, S2. So delta x is equal to d cos theta. I'm interested to know the maximas, where all I can notice the maxima. So they should be equal to n lambda. d cos theta. So what is the expression for cos theta? N lambda by small d. So d equal to 3 lambda, you take it, d equal to 4 lambda, d equal to 5 lambda. Then what are the corresponding values of n? N will start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me put first d equal to 3 lambda. If d equal to 3 lambda, cos theta is equal to n lambda by 3 or n by 3. Then what are the positions at which, angular positions at which we can here first n equal to 0 is substitute. So I'm going to get first one maxima. So theta equal to, put n equal to 0. So theta what happened? 90 degrees. I'll get one maxima. Put n equal to 1. So theta equal to cos inverse of 1 by 3. We'll measure one maxima. What is this theta? Don't do this one. Take this as reference. This is the angular position. So first for n equal to 0, for first theta equal to 90, as here I'll get one maxima. Then put n equal to 1. So cos cos inverse of 1 by 3 is what? I'll get maxima. Put n equal to 2. Cos inverse of 2 by 3. Put n equal to 3. Theta equal to 0. So how many maximas? Where all I can locate maxima? So this is one maxima. I think don't put fringes. Better let's show the dots like this. This is one maxima. Here is one maxima. Cos inverse of 1 by 3. Here one maxima. Here one maxima. Shall I ask you like a order? Order should be n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3. This is order. So if I go in circular path, how many maximas I'll notice? Say like a here 4. So here also you put it 4. Here also maximas will come. Then in the again the second quadrant 2.
12, sir.
So like this can be. So how many maximas will determine? Again the ratio of d by lambda. The ratio of d by lambda is what it will determine how many maximas is there. So now I want the position of that maxima, vertical position. What shall I do for that? I think tan theta equal to, suppose this position I needed. Okay, can I find out this one? Because I know this is capital R. I know the theta position. Sin theta is equal to that position y2 by r. And what is theta? Theta value is what we have, cos inverse of 1 by 3. Like that, we can locate that position. And if this is like some sort of like a sphere or a shell, this particular screen is like a shell. In that case, so shall we go around, not only here, as you go around in circular path like this, what you're going to see? You're going to get the maxima. If these two sources are kept in a shell, spherical shell, then what happens? This will like a dome, no? So here, if you go around here like this, look at the spot I'm moving. If you go around this at all positions, it will be maximum only. Am I right? So I may ask you some three-dimensional idea also here. So this will be what is the vertical position? As I can ask you these positions. For that, you should take help of the geometry here. This already we came across in the waves and sound chapter. The same idea is what we are bringing here. Now, let me ask you one very good question. So how you analyze the conditions? All of you okay? Shall I scroll down?
Yes, sir.
Let me put in another page. I kept, I'll keep one source here, other source here. Let this distance be 4 lambda. Let this be 2 lambda. S1P 4 lambda. S2P 2 lambda. 5 lambda, I'll write it. So now instead of the earlier, you know, so two sources, let the distance of separation between 7 lambda. Now I'm going to go move around in this circle. Then I'm going to move around in this circle. How many maximas I'm going to measure when I complete that red color and blue color circular path. I think don't think, immediately take pen, paper, start drawing the diagrams, and you can manage. Don't fight with pen like a by visualization. Straight away jump into the pen paper and take it and try to work out. I think within 2-3 minutes you can crack it out. What is the question? As you move in the circular path, how many maximas you are going to measure in both the distance? First, you are going to move in the blue color circular path, then the red color circular path. I am trying to generalize this path difference one. We have some idea, so this is some generalization. Not only in YDAC, anywhere you can think randomly using this method. Anyone numbers? There's a good question to think. You do one thing, draw diagram on in paper, no? Try to analyze. Then only it can be easy. Otherwise, by seeing, not possible. Nobody can solve it. You have to scribble on paper. Anybody number? Anybody? No. I think you can do, no, very easy. Just you have to stick on to the basics here, nothing big. Okay, let me start. I think let me do one thing. What is the path difference of the rays arriving here? So now at this particular point, this ray will cover 2 lambda. What about this ray? How much of path it will cover to reach here? 7 lambda, or so like a 9 lambda. This ray will cover 2 lambda to reach this point. How much of ray 1 will cover path to reach here? 9 lambda. So what is the path difference? 7 lambda. So here is, I'll start with 7 lambda. Now, similarly, let's take the opposite point. The ray 1, how much of path it will cover to reach here? 5 lambda. What about this? Will cover 9 lambda. So shall we put here minus 7 lambda? I'll check the chat. Let's see.
So 12 lambda, right?
Why 12 lambda?
Sir, from S2 to that point.
So here 2 lambda, okay, 12 lambda, sorry. This will be 12 lambda. This will be 5 lambda. What is the path difference again? 7 lambda only. Path difference is what I wrote, total.
Yes.
Path difference. No, sir, why you wrote plus 7? Why you wrote minus 7? Here what happened? The ray, I took the ray 1 will cover more path. Ray 1 as reference. So it will cover more path. Compared to this, no. The ray 2 will cover more paths. So path difference, definitely minus 7 lambda it should come. What about here? Path difference. 3 lambda. This will cover 5 lambda. This will cover 2 lambda. So how much it should be? Like a 3 lambda. I think now this is the condition now. Now from here is what we have to proceed. 7 lambda is there. Next we have 3 lambda. And minus 7 lambda is there. So what has to be done now here? So after this, what happened? There can be a situation where the path difference will be 6 lambda. Let me keep on write things. 6 lambda. Exact position, okay, we have to work out. Just because, okay, sorry. Here 3 lambda is there, no? 4 lambda will be somewhere here. 5 lambda will be somewhere here. 6 lambda will be somewhere here. How to remove that dots? Okay, no, right. So this is all of you, please do notice these are some very tricky numericals what you may encounter. You know, similarly on either side. 4 lambda, 5 lambda, 6 lambda. Okay, this one. Now come for this one. 3 lambda, there can be a point where it will be path difference will be 2 lambda. So here I'll come from this side also. Minus 6 lambda, 5 lambda, minus 4 lambda. I think minus lambda 0 should come. There can be point where the path covered by both will be 0. So it can on this side also. 2 lambda, 0. Count it now. So, sir, how do you can put it? So that's why what you should do, put 7 lambda here and get the minus 7 lambda. Then go around in this circle. Then finish out this one. So like this, open by using this order of interference, we are able to trace it out. So total number of maximas as you move like this. Then again, you return back to the initial point, so you can count the number of maximas. Oh, no, now try to think like these are the sources are there. Sir, I will move here. Okay, try. Okay, put one straight line here. Sir, I'll move like this. put one straight line. Sir, why you are going like this only? It's my choice. No, sir, I'll bring one vertical line here. Then I'll count it. Okay, you do it. Let there be path be like this. You can put it one horizontal line here. Better take two sources, keep it here. What we did earlier, go back. This is not something very new. Here only just I'm asked you to move around a circular path where the sources are placed symmetrical about circular path. But here I'm putting a condition. Not like bigger circle. I'm asking you to go around like this. There's a path. So I think there's a definitely wide varieties of questions what you can encounter of this nature. So here I'll bring one line, or I may bring one line here. I'll ask you as you move from minus into plus into how many maximums, or I may bring one line like this. About unless these are the very tricky questions of the YDS here. We don't know what applications we are using, but definitely students will be pushed to think in this way here. So this 7 lambda minus 7 lambda, thinking this 3 lambda is very important. So y plus 7 minus 7 is very important. If I take the wave 1 as reference, wave 1 will cover more path at this point compared to wave 2. Then at this particular point, the wave 2 will cover more path. So it should be minus 7 lambda, not plus 7 lambda. Able to analyze this condition? Okay, I think we'll wind up tomorrow. We'll meet in college. So in Telegram only, I'm going to upload it because I don't have that link option to be sent. It's being disabled. I have to put in Google Drive, then we have to send. Not today, now only I'll upload it.
Okay.
And other YDSC videos are there. After editing, I'll upload it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Notes also will be sent. Okay, thank you, all of you.